Needs a shoulder to cry on.
Hi friends, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you are new. If you're new around here, I'm Cheryl, this is Table Full of Joy, and we are still in Pantry Challenge, so we're doing another Pantry Challenge or Pantry Dinner tonight. So we are going to be doing some pork chops that we thawed out of our freezer. This is part of a pork loin that we purchased at Costco. It was, I forget how many pounds it was pretty good size. And so we bought it, it was $8 off of the whole thing. So I think it was originally $20 and something, so you take $8 off of that. That's what we paid for that whole pork loin. We cut off the two ends of that. We stashed those away for easy dinners, for the crock pot, the oven, whatever. We still have those in the freezer. We'll be using those here soon. But we cut the rest of it up into pork chops the way we like them cut. We're gonna add in some, this is our Near East, this is the garlic and herb rice pilaf. We're gonna have that. And I had some fresh carrots in my fridge that need to be used up, so we're gonna dice those. We're gonna make a super yummy crust for our pork chops using the very little tiny bit of French fried onions we have left. So we're gonna make a tasty crust with that and some fresh Parmesan in our food processor, and we're gonna get dinner going. This is gonna be super easy, super quick, but we're using everything from Pantry, so let's get it done. So first I wanna get the carrots cut up so I can get those off my board real quick, because these are gonna be super fast. All right, so let's get our carrots. I like them cut a little bit thicker versus thin because I don't like my vegetables super mushy. I can't do them when they have that mushy texture, so we're gonna stick with having them a little bit on the thicker side. I'm doing 3. I'm gonna see how this looks with 3. I may end up doing another carrot. I wasn't sure. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm going to do another carrot or even 2. Some of these carrots are not super big, so trim off our ends. We're going to peel these real quick. All right, let's cut this up real quick. Now our pilaf doesn't take very long. Our carrots are going to take about 10-12 minutes at 375. So we're just going to put a little bit of olive oil on these. I'm going to put a little bit of dill. I love carrots and dill together. It's one of my favorite combinations. Put a little bit of parsley. A little bit of our Redmond's real salt. And a little bit of fresh pepper. And that's all that's going on these carrots. They're gonna roast in the oven, like I said, for probably about 10, maybe 15 minutes at the most, and then those are gonna be done. So let's get these in the oven. We're gonna get our rice pilaf started. We just need 1 3/4 cup of water. We're gonna bring that to a boil. If you've never tried the Near East brand, these are so tasty. So, so good. So we're gonna bring it to a boil, then we're gonna add in our rice pilaf, our packet, and our butter, and we're gonna get that cooking. All right, so I got my food processor out because I want to grind up a chunk of this Parmesan cheese from Costco because it's going to take a little bit more to grind up this cheese than it is to do the onions. So I want to give this more time. We only have 2 pork chops, so we don't need a ton of our crust. So I've got a chunk. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this rind off. I save the rind to my Parmesan cheese because this makes amazing soup and all kinds of things that you want that Parmesan flavor in. So we're gonna add that one of these days to a delicious soup that we're gonna make. One of my favorite soups to add that to is the Olive Garden zuppa toscana, which is the sausage, potato, and kale soup. I love putting a Parmesan rind in that soup before you add all the cream and stuff. All right, let's get our Parmesan ground up. I think that's gonna work. I don't want it super fine. Now we're gonna go ahead and add in our onions, and I'm just gonna add in the rest of these. There wasn't that many. I need to get those off my counter. I want to add to this Parmesan and mushroom, or the Parmesan and onion mixture is a little bit of this mushroom umami seasoning. This stuff is so good, friends. It is amazing. And it's gonna go so good with our pork chops. And you don't need very much of this.
Yes, everyone needs.
All right, we're gonna get this onto a plate so that we can bread our pork chops once we get our wet mixture for the pork chops done. We are gonna make a little bit of a wet mixture for our pork chops to go in before they go in this, before we cook them. We're gonna start off with just a little bit of mayonnaise. Like I said, we only have 2 pork chops that we need to brush this with. So a little bit of mayonnaise. We're gonna do just a little bit of Dijon mustard. I love mustard and pork chops. Man, this mustard is not cooperating.
Is that stuff that you bought for me a while back?
Okay, we got a little Dijon in there. We're gonna put a little bit of onion powder. We're gonna put a little bit of parsley. You know, I think I want to put a little parsley in this mix, just for a little color. And last but not least, we're gonna put in a little bit of our Kinder's truffle salt. I think this is gonna be so good. So we're just gonna do a couple of shakes. So like maybe a 1/4 teaspoon. All right, our carrots are almost done. Our rice pilaf is basically done, but I'm letting it steam for just a little bit. We're gonna put a little bit of butter in our pan and a little bit of olive oil. If you did not know this, putting a little bit of olive oil in with your butter will bring the ability for your butter to not burn. So you're gonna get a better burning point or smoke point out of your butter if you add a little olive oil to it. So we have our burner on about medium high. We're gonna get this started to melt. And we're gonna get our pork chops in and we're gonna pull dinner together. And this was super quick. Literally in the amount of time it took us to cook this Near East rice pilaf. We got carrots done. Pork chops are gonna take like no less than probably like 6 minutes. And we're gonna have dinner on the table. All right, our butter and olive oil is ready. We're gonna get our pork chops in. And I think I am just going to use my hands because I want to make sure I don't lose any of this breading that's on here by using the tongs right away. So we're going to let those start cooking. Look at that color. Wow, are those not beautiful pork chops? We're gonna go about 3 minutes on this side and dinner's gonna be ready. All right, friends, our stuff's almost done. I'm gonna put just a little bit of this Parmesan Romano in with my rice pilaf, just to give it a little something in it. We're in the middle of pantry challenge, and so I'm trying to use up what I've got. I had this in my fridge, so I figured I might as well use it. Let's grab hubby's pork chop, dish up some carrots. A little bit of our rice pilaf. And just like that, friends, pork chops, roasted carrots, rice pilaf. We're gonna go eat this and enjoy it. We'll see you for the next one. All right, friends, I have to tell you, those pork chops were absolutely delicious. I think we've now found a new way to make pork chops that we love, so I'm going to be definitely keeping French fried onions in my house. They are not just for green bean casserole. They make incredible pork chops. So I also realized, just as we were sitting down to eat dinner, hubby reminded me, I was going to make applesauce with the only fresh apple I have in my house, and I forgot. So we were sitting there and I thought, you know what? I still want to use it. Let's do something with it. So we're gonna make a little dessert, something super easy, super quick, and it's just gonna be amazing tonight. We're gonna have this tonight for a little dessert later on. So we're gonna get this in the oven, and it's not gonna take long. So we're gonna start with our apple that we have. We're just gonna cut this apple in half. I just preheated my oven. I'm gonna grab a spoon. I don't have one of those, I don't know, melon ball or whatever you wanna call it. I don't have one of those. And so I'm just gonna use a spoon to take this core out of this apple. Might have to use my knife a little bit, but we want to get enough of this core out because we're going to make a little crevice down in this apple so that we can fill this with something super tasty. But I need to get this core out. I probably should invest in one of those. I've never really had a use for one, so I've never bought one, but apparently one of those would be useful tonight, so maybe we will look into getting one. But I just want to get the core out. We are not peeling our onion or our apple. We are not peeling it. This recipe that I found, they leave the peeling on. So we're going to leave that on here. Let's see. I think I want to get just a little bit more right here out of that middle section. All right, I think that's good. So I have my little baking dish here, and we're just gonna put our apples right in the middle, and then we're gonna make our little filling that goes in these, and they're super easy, super quick, but it's gonna be really delicious. So let's scoop our apple stuff in the garbage. All right, I have a little bowl here, and the recipe that I found, it makes 6. I don't need 6. I just have 2 fresh apples in my house. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of oats. I'm just gonna eyeball this one, but I will leave the original recipe for you guys down in the description box so that you guys can check out that recipe if you want to make the full recipe. We're gonna put in just a little bit of nutmeg. Need to be really careful because I don't have my lid on, but just a little bit of nutmeg. We're gonna do some cinnamon apples, super classic combination. We're gonna put in just a little bit of ginger. We just want a little bit. I have some pecans that I've been trying to use up during this pantry challenge, so we're gonna put a little handful of those. And because we're in the middle of pantry challenge, I do not have any ice cream in my house, but we're gonna be okay. We are gonna use whipped cream. I have canned whipped cream in my fridge, and I need to use that. So we are in pantry challenge, and that's what we're gonna use. We're gonna put a little bit of butter. I'm just gonna use my fingers because I don't want to dirty up a whole bunch of dishes. So we're just gonna mash this butter around. I need to get out some I keep saying applesauce because that's what I had on my brain earlier. I need to grab my maple syrup because we're gonna put some maple syrup in this, and that's where we're gonna get our sweetness. Hubby likes this because you're not actually adding real sugar to it. You're just getting natural sweetness from the maple syrup. So we're just gonna put a little splash in here. We're gonna get this stirred around. We're gonna cover these. We're gonna bake them at 400 degrees. It says for 30 minutes. You're supposed to baste these every 15 to 20 minutes. You wanna put some apple cider, some water, whatever you have. I don't think I have any apple cider in my house right now. I'll look real quick, but I don't think I do. If I don't, we'll just use some water. But I wanna get this all coated with that maple syrup. And I'm just gonna use my spoon and I'm gonna pack this mixture right down in these holes, and then whatever I have left that I can't get up on or packed in that hole, I'm gonna pack it on top. My apples are wanting to lean to one side, so I'm gonna use the side of my bowl to support them so that I can pack the rest of this oat mixture up on top. I think these are gonna be super delicious. These would make a great little quick dessert if you're having company and you don't want a dessert that you have to babysit on the stove. You could do these super easy. You could have these ready the day before or earlier in the day, and then just put them in the refrigerator. Yeah, put them in the fridge because you don't want them to turn brown. So put them in the fridge and then put them in the oven, like when you pull dinner out. After you've pulled your oven out. Man, I'm having trouble tonight. After you pull your food out of the oven, if you're doing oven dinner, put these in the oven while you're having dinner, while you're cleaning up, while you're doing whatever. Make some coffee, and these would be amazing. So let's get our liquid in the bottom. Okay, I can't find my apple cider, so I'm just gonna use some water. I'm gonna put some water down in the bottom. We need to cover these with foil. And then these are gonna go in our 400 degree oven for 30 minutes. We're gonna baste them twice with our juice then is in the bottom. As these apples cook, they're gonna release juice. So we'll have a little bit of apple juice down here to baste them with. These are gonna go in the 400 degree oven for 30 minutes. All right, friends, I smell it. It smells amazing. We're gonna pull it out. I think it probably needs to cool for just a few minutes before we try to eat it. But it looks and smells amazing. There is our apples that we made from our apple that we had left over for just a really quick, pretty healthy type dessert tonight. Pantry challenge. I needed to use this apple up. I did not get it used when we had pork chops tonight for applesauce. So we're using it this way. We're gonna let this cool for probably 5 or 10 minutes because it is very, very, very hot and I don't want to bite into that. So we're gonna let it cool and we'll come back and let you guys see what it tastes like. All right, friends, we're gonna dish up our delicious dessert. Hubby's gonna come in and taste it. I'm excited to try this. So we have our dessert here. We're gonna get this put in a bowl. Did you put that over there? This over there? This. We're gonna put, I just have some whipped cream just in the can. Like I said, we're pantry challenge. We're just trying to use up whatever we've got. I don't have ice cream in my house. So we're gonna put in, and I think just for the sense of making it look pretty, we're gonna put a few more crushed pecans on top of our apple. This apple dessert, baked apple a taste. Let me know what he thinks. I'm excited to try this. Get a little bit of whipped cream. It's not overly sweet.
Yeah,
It's perfect.
not too sweet, and it'd really go good with a cup of coffee. It's a little bit late to have a cup of coffee right now, maybe a cup of tea. But, very good.
All right, friends,
It's
we're
very
gonna
tasty.
go enjoy this dessert. Go watch a show before we head to bed. But I want to thank you guys so much for joining us as we made a delicious dinner tonight with those pork chops that were so good, and our carrots and our rice pilaf, and now we made a delicious little dessert to go enjoy. Pantry challenge. We are enjoying this pantry challenge. We're still in a little bit of an ice storm. Not as bad. It's melting. He's going back to work tomorrow. I'm not. We're still off. But
Life goes on.
yeah, we're going to continue with the pantry challenge for the next couple weeks. See where we end up at the end of the month if we're going to continue. But we'll talk to you guys in the comments, friends. If you have not yet, please hit that subscribe button so you are becoming a part of our YouTube family. Got stuff in my mouth. Hit that notification bell so you're notified every time we upload a new video. And friends, we are so close to our 1,000. Please continue to share our channel with everybody. Let them know what we're doing here if you think it's something they'll enjoy. And we'll talk to you in the comments, friends. Have a great day and God bless.
We love
As
you.
one help